Okay, let's make it official. Your name and where are you from?
Yes, so hi everybody. My name is Kristi Kille, and I am from Toledo, Ohio. I have been a devotee of Our Lady of the Roses since 1983. That was my first Rosary Vigil when I was at the age of 12. I went to the August 13th, 1983 Rosary Vigil. My Aunt Carmen, she's sitting over there. She and my mother were best friends when my mother was alive, so she told us about the apparitions. So we went to the August 13th, 1983 Rosary Vigil, and I was 12 years old. And so I saw Our Lady come down from heaven during that vigil. She looked just like the miraculous picture of Our Lady in the sky, very much close to that. So yes, and there were other things that happened at that Rosary Vigil as well. So to me,
right,
spiritually.
Wow,
So,
interesting.
yes.
Now, you were telling me that a tragedy befell you in 1991. What
Yes,
was it? And was that a blow to your faith in the mission, or
No.
was it an impetus?
No, it was it caused a conversion, a deeper conversion into my Catholic faith and Our Lady of the Roses. So my mother died in a car accident on January 31st, 1991, in front of our house that we were all living in at the time. Between 1983 and 1991, her death, she got scared of the messages, so she did not want me to go back to Bayside. She wanted me to become more worldly, which I did, like all the other teenagers. But I always believed in the messages. And so about 2 weeks after her death, it was like, it hit me, even though I was still grieving her death, it hit me that, Mom's gone. Oh, good, now I can do what I really want to do, and that was to go back to Bayside. And later on that year, I was able to return, and from then on, I went many times in the 90s, mostly in the 90s, and then the earlier 2000s. So probably about 50 Rosary Vigils, and my faith really deepened, and I am the way I am today because of Our Lady of the Roses.
What really stands out? What's your takeaway from Our Lady's message, and how has it formed your spiritual life?
I would say like sticking to tradition, the Catholic tradition. Our Lady wants us to kneel for Holy Communion, receive Holy Communion from a priest only and on the tongue only. Us ladies to wear the veils, that sort of thing, and dress Christian, and with Christian modesty of dress as well. So it's the whole Catholic tradition that stands out for me with her messages.
Well, let's go to your political career. When did it begin?
It began in 2015, and it was due to, I want to say first that this is not an endorsement of St. Michael's World Apostolate to any political candidate, and neither is this an endorsement from any candidate to St. Michael's World Apostolate, except for me, of course, because I endorse y'all, so because I am a political candidate right now even. But it was Senator Ted Cruz when he tossed his hat in the ring to become, to run for presidency. And that night, when he made the announcement on C-SPAN, I think it was Liberty University or something, it was like, I saw hope. When I saw him, I saw hope. So that night, I signed up to be a campaign volunteer of his, and one thing led to another. I got involved in politics, going to political meetings, and being surrounded by political candidates. Both local and statewide, candidates. So, and that's what just kind of like inspired me to run for politics.
Interesting, because not everyone just dives into politics.
Right.
Was there any words in the message? Because Our Lady and our Lord have said a few times that we need godly men and women in the government.
Right. No, that was me naturally wanting to get involved in politics. But then, yes, you did mention about, what Our Lady has said, and so that was kind of, I guess, encouraging.
Right.
Encouraging, because it's, I don't have anybody encouraging me to run in politics. So it's just me, wanting to do that. So, and I believe that her message is kind of encouraging, so yes.
Right, obviously being inspired by Our Lady of the Roses.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
No, you said you were running. What are you running for now?
Right now, I'm running for Toledo City Council at large.
Okay,
Yes.
that's good. You're trying to make your mark. And
Yeah,
now,
and I've ran for past offices in the past, too, like state rep and Toledo City Council in the past. So
right, yeah. And of course, in speaking with you, it's quite for a lengthy amount of time. A couple of weeks ago, I said, I'm speaking to a political activist here.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny when I think of a political activist, it's like, I better write some good questions because I feel like she's going to throw tiramisu at me or something. But you said pro-life is a very important cause for you.
Yes.
How are you demonstrating in that way?
Well, pro-life, I got involved in the pro-life movement, I would say in the later 1990s, and my very sweet, very best friend Jim and we would stand out in front of the local abortion mill every Thursday. We would be praying the rosary week after week, month after month, year after year, despite all weather conditions and disturbances. And finally, back, I don't know, in the 2000, I want to say 2013, the facility closed permanently, and then the building shut down. The building got torn down, and now there's been just a little park, memorial park there in its place.
Boy, look at that.
Yeah.
The fruits of perseverance.
Yes, absolutely,
Right.
yes.
Right.
So,
I often tell our good people here, or whenever I'm on the road, we talk about the Sunday Holy Hour for the clergy, 55 years, outdoor, rain, snow, sleet. And then when you were telling me that you did that for about 10 years every
yeah.
Thursday,
Yeah.
Good for you. It had to remind you of our efforts here during the Sunday Holy Hour for the
there's
pulpit.
similarities, yes.
Right. Now, let's talk about, you've crossed paths with a lot of VIPs. Walk us through that.
So yes, I have been involved in, like I said, politics. So I go to these political rallies, a lot of them in the area when I can. They're all free. So back in the 2015 presidential race, our governor at the time, Governor John Kasich, he entered the race, and so I went to his political rally in Toledo, and I have to say, so when he got off the bus, this was indoors, okay? So when he got off the bus, and there was that, I want to say rope, crowd control tape. So he's on one side, and I'm on fans, the attendees were on the other. And people all around me, they knew I had something special to give to John Kasich. I mean, I don't know if they knew I don't remember if they knew what it was or whatever. So then he makes his speech, and then he walks down towards the other end of the area and stuff, and all this. It's just so crowded, hundreds of people were there. And fearing that he was going to get on the bus before I had a chance to give him the message of Our Lady of the Roses, I yelled. There's all this rock music going on, and people, everybody, it's really loud. So at the top of my lungs, I yelled, "Governor Kasich," to try to get his attention. And the Secret Service even said, "Well, don't worry, he's coming down, our way, my way." And this one religious sister was standing next to me, and she's like, "Oh, great, now you just got the attention of Secret Service." I'm like, I don't care who I got the attention of.
Yeah.
I wanted Governor Kasich, So he came up to me finally, and I get, he's all in this hoopla, involved in this hoopla of the rally. So I then gave him well, first of all, I thanked him for some kind of a stricter abortion policy he put into place, within the past couple of years. And so it probably might have been like defunding Planned Parenthood or something in Ohio. And I thanked him for it because I felt that he should be thanked, for sure.
Any pro-life measures
yes,
that a politician institutes is a good thing.
Right, exactly. So then I gave him pearls from heaven. I put it in his hand, and the look on his face, his face just went straight. And as he looked at, the image of Our Lady, and it was just so beautiful. something struck him. And he looked up at me and he says, "Thank you." And then he leaned over and gave me a hug.
Yeah,
And then he continued on then got more involved with the hoopla again of the rally as I met other people. And
Let's
that was
move on.
the end
Well,
of it.
conversely now, let's talk about Mike Pence.
Well, yes, so Mike Pence, and he came into Toledo, the Toledo area, when he was campaigning with President Trump, so to be the VP. So he came and at the end of that rally, I was basically like right in front of him, like trying to give him the message of Our Lady of the Roses, the pearls from heaven. And I was like even like right up to his stomach trying to give it, and he turned around and ignored it and walked away.
Which is interesting because Mike Pence is a Catholic. He was a baptized Catholic turned evangelical. So perhaps I think that might be the reason why if you see a huge headshot of the Virgin Mary, you might not find that appealing.
Right.
Interesting. Let's move on to J.D. Vance.
Oh, yes. So, so J.D. Vance, yes, I met him, just casually met him, I should say, a couple years ago when he was running for office. And I gave him Sacred Grounds leaflet, but it was just a casual thing. It was, we didn't know him from anybody at the time. He and other people were running for office, and we were at a pro-life breakfast, legislative breakfast. So I gave Sacred Grounds literature to other candidates as well who are running for the Senate. So, but then last year, in March of last year, he was a guest speaker for Bernie Moreno, who was running for U.S. Senate in Ohio, and I'm friends with Bernie Moreno. So I had the pearls from heaven with me, and I gave one of the pearls from heaven to JD. Got my picture taken with him, and so that was how I gave JD, the message of Our Lady of the Roses,
Right.
and likewise Bernie Moreno as well,
And you gave him also the introductory the introductory booklet.
The Pearls from Heaven,
Pearls
yes,
from Heaven,
yes.
right.
Mhm.
And you're typically showing them the cover of it
Yes,
so they see
absolutely.
the Virgin Mary.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is
Yes.
Marino, I assume, is Catholic?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, we know that J.D. Vance is a convert.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah. Now, any reaction? Is there any reaction? Is there like, wow,
No, no, they just
Right.
took it graciously.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right. No, you had a chance to give it to President Trump's son, Don Jr.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that
All right.
experience.
So that was so last September, it was another Bernie Moreno event outside. It was held outside at the Lucas County Republican Party headquarters. And so Don Jr. was the guest speaker for Bernie Moreno. And so this was all outdoors. And so what I want to say is that I had to make sure I was standing in a position where I didn't know what was going to happen when he would jump off stage, which way he was going to go, whatever, So the stage was kind of like, I'm standing off to the side of the stage and by the entrance, which happened to also end up being the exit. But anyways, so the stage was on the right, the crowd was on the left, sitting down. There was a big space between the stage and the crowd, and a lot of us were standing around. So he was facing the crowd, and so after this is Don Jr., so he was telling about what he was doing when he found out about his father being shot and all that, and that sort of thing. So then after his speech, he jumped off for one thing, he had a microphone in his hand like I have, and Bernie Moreno had his own microphone. So Don Jr. jumped off the stage, only about a step or two, and then he went way down to the other end of the people down in the first row, started shaking their hands and all that, and I'm thinking, oh great, he's probably going to try to find some other way of getting out of there for all I know. So I wasn't going to take the chance. So I, like everybody else, I dashed across that big open space between the stage and the seating area, and everybody else was like trying to get to him. So I stopped him right there in his tracks, and here, I'm looking at Don Jr., and he's looking at me, and it was just like, he felt like a kid brother to me, you know, and I was about to give him pearls from heaven, okay, and I had one for his father as well, for him to give to his father. So, and I had little letters in each pearls from heaven, and I also had some other Bayside excerpts in there, you know, like couple little prayer cards and whatnot for each one. So I stopped Don Jr. writing his tracks, you know, and I was about ready to say, you know, tell him, you know, give him the message, you know, pearls from heaven, and all of a sudden there's this great big, huge, humongous, astronomical noise coming from the speaker. Well, we happened to be right in front of the speaker, and Don Jr. did not turn off his microphone.
You knew it was feedback, right?
So it was like, oh, now what? You know, I'm like, so at the top of my lungs, I gave him the pearls from heaven, and all I could say to him on top of all this humongous astronomical noise was, one is for you and the other one is for your father, with the hopes that he could read my lips or something.
So you did, you executed it.
I
He did
yes,
receive this.
Yes, and he walked off, you know, walked into, you know, got off, you know, went into the car holding those two two pearls from
Interesting,
heaven still.
because that was my
So,
next question. Is
yeah.
he just handing it to security, or?
No,
so
I saw him get in the car with those two.
Yeah.
With those two pearls from heaven.
Right, right.
So.
Well, what I'm hearing so far is if you're doing something like this, you have to have strong lungs, right?
Well, for that.
When you're
yeah,
at these rallies and everything.
Yeah, I got those strong lungs from when I used to be a hockey fan, you know, Gold Digger fan back when I was a little young girl. So,
Right,
yeah. That's what
Right. But also, too, what I'm hearing, too, is your intent. You have an intent here.
Yes,
that
my
when you're
intent
going to a
is
rally,
to-
you already have in your pocketbook the pearls, a message.
Yeah,
you're
I'm ready.
planning to
Right.
do discipleship.
That's right. That's the reason why I go to these rallies. And if I get a picture taken with these political candidates, you know, so be it. If I don't, I don't. You know, I mean,
Right.
my main intent is to just give
Right.
them the message of Our Lady of the Roses, and whatever comes out of that, well, that's between them and God. So.
Right, right. Well, I mean, Our Lady and our Lord have said, as we've said so many times here, to give the message to all people, regardless of race, color, or creed, or station. Everyone needs to hear this. I mean, Our Lady and our Lord have said that the punishments will not discriminate. So good for you.
Yes.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yes, I gave Vivek Ramaswamy, I gave him the message of Our Lady of the Roses, also the pearls from heaven. I gave it to him. It was some kind of, I think, Lincoln Day dinner recently, and so I.
What's he running for?
He's running for governor of Ohio.
And are you volunteering for his campaign?
Yes, I did sign up to be a campaign volunteer. Haven't heard anything back yet
Right,
from the fan.
right. You're going to see,
campaign, but-
I think John put photos in the organizers conference with Kristi with all of these high and mighty here. But what you'll see too is a couple of times you're going to see them holding
Yes.
the pearls from heaven. You can
Yes,
see it.
yes,
So
yes.
you just never know.
Yes,
You never
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Any other reaction that you're getting from Vivek? Or,
Well,
what was his reaction when you gave it to him? Actually, it was kind of cute.
Yes, it was. So, so I gave it to him, and he says, and I told him that it was, you know, from Our Lady of the Roses, and he says, wait, well, he's Hindu, but he did go to a Catholic high school all 4 years. So he says, and he did tell me about that he did, you know, go to Catholic high school, and he said, tell her I said thank you.
That's cute. Tell
Yeah.
the Blessed Mother, right?
Yeah, tell her I said thank you. That was cute, because I know he doesn't really probably understand, but it was cute.
Right,
So.
right, yeah. What do you like about politics? What's attracting you to this? I mean, this can get pretty ugly and dirty at
Yes,
times, right?
yes,
But what's
it's-
attracting you to it? And
the-
you told me you like campaigning.
I absolutely love campaigning. I love campaigning for, well, not just for myself. I love being a volunteer for people who I believe are good politicians, good, you know, who have some decent morals, or worth my time and my effort to try to help them win. And I love going out canvassing, sending, putting information on people's doors, and meeting people if that happens. I just love it. I love the good, the bad, and the ugly about it, and it can get ugly, but
Right.
I just love it.
And you obviously love Bayside.
Absolutely.
Because all of the photos that I see with these VIPs, you're always wearing the blue beret.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah,
Oh.
that's become like my signature hat, for politics.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Oh, I can imagine some of the smirks and sneers when they see you. Oh, here's that crazy lady with the blue beret.
They might. I don't know, but
Right.
I don't care. It's like, okay.
Right, right. Have you taken some hits during your campaigning? I mean, smear job in the
yeah.
media from
Yes,
other
yes.
sources.
Yeah, yeah.
What what are some of the negative experiences that you've had that?
Negative about, well, for one thing, being pro-life. The media is, you're pro-life. What about this? What about that? No, I'm pro-life from in the womb to the tomb. So they're very much pro-abortion. It seems like, for the most part, the mainstream media. So yeah.
Right.
It's like, and also they're very pro-LGBT.
Right.
So I've gotten some flack about that. So
I'm sure you have. But what are some good things? I know you mentioned a couple of things. What about the children and the
yeah,
example?
like when I'm out, whether I'm campaigning for myself or whether I am campaigning for somebody else. When I go door to door, I've seen some children who have been out in the neighborhood, and they come running up to me wanting to know what I'm doing and all that, and I tell them, and sometimes I'll take the literature to their parents, whoever I'm campaigning for, and they seem excited, and they seem to have some knowledge about, the politics at their young age, or this one young girl, I met her when I went out campaigning, and she is in student council, so for her school council, and it's and she was just happy to meet me, and I gave her the thumbs up, because that's something good to get into as long as it's good morals, and decency, so hopefully some of these young children will become good politicians someday.
Right.
We need good ones.
Absolutely.
So they're our future.
Absolutely.
And even the libraries too. I stand out in front of the local libraries, and so the children come in and out with their parents, and they just kind of see this, and they just watch, and they'll remember this.
Yeah, you
A lot of
know,
them will.
I want to be like her.
Right.
That type of thing.
Right, yeah.
So that's a good example.
Yeah.
Examples are powerful.
Right.
And you're a nurse's aide or a caregiver?
Yes, I'm a caregiver right now. It's basically a nurse's aide. I've been into home health and caregiving since the mid-90s. I took care of my very sweet, very best friend, Jim, and I was his caregiver until he died. We took care of him for 16 and a half years until he died of Alzheimer's. So, and in his honor, I wanted to continue with caregiving, so I got involved in working in facilities. And, well, first of all, was home care again, and then facilities. And
you're doing some good spiritual work.
I am,
Before
yeah.
people exit this life, right?
Yeah, I am. I pray by their bedside, and for the most part, when they're dying. Some instances, I've actually been, placed scapulars on them, and they die wearing the scapular. So, so that's all being a part of the pro-life movement as well. But I get paid for it, but it's my job. So.
Right. Well, it's very interesting, Kristi. I think perhaps you've inspired a lot of people here that
I hope so.
if we want to reach our senators
Yeah.
or congressmen
Yeah.
or local politicians, you don't have to pay $1,000 plate at the Breakfast Club or anything.
Right. And I have also given messages to other various politicians too.
Right.
And they've all, accepted,
Sure.
and running for different offices or ran for, past offices. And
Right.
to me, it's just natural, to do that, and Our Lady of the Roses, I'm the way that I am because of her. So that's my nature.
She's given you that courage. That conviction.
I wouldn't even consider it
that
courage
conviction.
because I'm not scared of doing it. So it's just me, and so it's because of her that I am who I am and what I am, and the way I am.
Right, right, amen, yeah,
Yeah,
beautiful.
and a good Catholic,
Yeah.
Hopefully. So,
Yeah, beautiful,
I
beautiful.
mean, I'm a practicing Catholic, and I always will be practicing until,
Right.
until I die, so.
No, I know you're good friends with Senator Bernie Marino.
Yeah.
You even have
Oh, yeah, friends,
even have
yeah.
his cell phone number. If you could see me afterwards, I'd like to have his phone number in case I need a favor. If I need a favor. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Kristi, keep up your good work in the field of politics
Yes.
in Ohio, and God bless you. I think
Well,
you've been
thank you.
good-
Thank you for
been an
having me,
inspiration
so.
for the people here, and I'm hoping all of you now will hit your senators and congressmen
Yeah, go
as
to the
well.
rallies.
You know,
I mean,
so.
Go to the rallies, they're free, you
Yeah.
know, as far as I know. and it's
What's-
in Ohio.
Michael Lucci, let's get Chuck Schumer and Kathy Hochul.
Well,
Chuck Schumer and Kathy Hochul. You know? Hey. Boy, you hear a lot of boos, and you're like, yeah, right, yeah. Hey, you never know, but God bless. Look at the only thing I can say, really, to conclude all this, holy Toledo.
well,
All right, that's enough, that's enough, okay, I'm sorry.
it needs more of God. Toledo does, you know.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
not very holy. So.
Well, thank you very much, Kristi,
you.
and God bless
And
you.
God bless you.
Keep up your good work.